Boom. All right, what's going on, you guys? It's Royce Jacob. Welcome back to the channel. In this video, I want to talk to you guys about how Riot Blockchain and Marathon Patent Group are absolute rocket ships right now. If you guys have been around, then you would know that the Waves family, we don't just go to the moon, we go to Mars, and that is exactly where Riot is on its way to as we speak after today's price action. And in my personal opinion, I think Mara is up next. So Mara is still on the launch pad in my opinion. I will go on to explain to you guys why that is as we dive into the charts, and we will talk a few other names that I'm very excited about after we cover those two as well. So very exciting times, you guys. Let's get into it. As always, we'll quickly go over each topic we're going to be discussing, and then we'll dive into each one individually. In front of us, as always, you guys know the drill, trading view, where we will be spending the majority, pretty much the entirety of this video. Such exciting price action. We will talk technicals, talk price targets, talk good old price action on the following names. Of course, kicking it off with the two primary focuses of this video, two of the most exciting plays over the past year, two stocks that we've talked about so much on this channel, and it's just so awesome to see these things again, not only going to the moon but to Mars, as we've been hoping for so long. Riot Blockchain, Marathon Patent Group, the first two we will cover, of course, because these are Bitcoin mining companies. We can't cover these two without covering Bitcoin, because this is the king. Bitcoin is always the king. It will ultimately dictate much of the general direction of the price action we're going to be seeing in this sector. All right, so we will go on to cover Bitcoin, and then we'll close it out with two crypto-related stocks that, if you guys have been keeping up, you would know that I'm very bullish on. Seeing a very exciting price action today, and I really do see big things in the near future, near mid and long-term future on honestly all of these plays, but definitely these two, XNET, Junlei, and currencyworks, which is CWRK and OTC stock. Okay, so we will close out the video by talking about those two little bonus analyses right there. But again, focusing solely on price action today. I'll let you guys know upside price targets, downside price targets, what I'm thinking, and once again, most importantly, in my opinion, why I'm more bullish on Marathon Patent Group as opposed to Riot. You guys, again, if you've been watching, Riot was my #1 stock pick of both 2020 and 2021. We started covering Riot when it was at $2. It's crazy to think it's at $77 right now, over $77. And again, I love Riot, guys, but at this point in time, I think we all know that Mara and Riot, watching them in tandem over the past year, just acting together, we've come to the realization that these two like to play catch up with each other, right? And considering Riot is at $77 right now, Mara is at $47 right now, I could not be more bullish on Mara. Okay, so again, we will dive a little bit deeper into that once we get into the charts, but before we do, as always, you guys, I will ask you to please give the video a like if you do want to gain value from it today, or if you have been invested in Riot or Mara, if you've been on this journey with me, if you've been riding the wave that is Riot, Mara, and so many of these other exciting crypto stocks, please give the video a like, you guys. Subscribe to the channel if you're new around here, want to catch more content like this. It's such exciting times, you guys, and again, I could not be more thankful to all of you guys for being on this journey with me. So subscribe if you're new around here, and of course, check out my complete portfolio daily newsletter. First link down in the description if you want a complete breakdown of every single position in my entire portfolio, call options, put options, stock positions, cryptocurrencies, of course, that I do update every trading day during market hours, and then with every update I send out a comprehensive newsletter rationalizing the trades I made that day, explaining to you guys why I'm trading what I'm trading, why I'm opening positions, why I'm opening specific positions, why I'm closing positions, literally every trade. And again, I just throw in whatever I feel like is important for you guys to know. Even if I'm not trading, I'll throw in some charts and stuff that I feel are important to share with you. Again, this is all during market hours, $15 a month if you're interested. First link down in the description once again, but if not, as always, no worries at all. I still appreciate you giving me your time here. So before we do get into it, one more thing, you guys, I just wanted to bring this up. I will scroll down a little bit. I wore this exact same hat today. I can't scroll. Okay, there we go. I mean, you guys don't need to see that, but I literally just put on the same hat in memoir of this. So how high can Riot and Mara go in 2021? Again, posted this on December 30th when Riot and Mara started popping off. Again, we've been covering it since it was at $2, guys. So please let me know down in the comments. Leave like 100 emoji or something. Leave a fire emoji, rocket emoji. If you guys have been with me for this ride that is Riot and Mara for an extended period of time, I would really love to know how many of you guys have been around. But even if it's new, even if you got in at the beginning, like when I posted this video, and this video actually did a lot better than I thought. I haven't looked at it in a very long time. But again, super exciting to see these two stocks that have done so much for me personally, and I know have done so much for a lot of you guys. Seeing this type of price action, you can see here that Bitcoin was at 30,000, Riot was at $17, Mara was at $11. It's crazy to think that these two have just since the beginning of 2021 have just rocketed. Again, this at this point, considering where we got in, was the moon, and now we are again on our way to Mars. As cheesy it sounds, you guys, again, it's a little inside joke. I'm sorry if you think that's goofy, which it is, but again, just an inside joke for the Waves family. Again, this is just to celebrate, you guys. It's not to brag, it's to celebrate it's to celebrate the hard work we put into this. Again, it's not chance if you can repeat something, right? It's not luck. There's the more consistency that's involved with your scenario, the less luck is involved, all right? And that's like Riot and Mara is such a strong testament to this. And again, you guys, I'm not going to spend too much time on this, but cheers to you guys if you've been eating good like I have with Riot Blockchain and Marathon Patent Group. And again, always keep your eyes forward, but never be afraid to celebrate the wins in life, okay? So that said, let's move into these charts. You guys, Riot is surpassing the moon as we speak. The moon should actually be right here. I would say the moon's right here. We are on our way to Mars. So Riot Blockchain closed the day up 31%. I believe it's up another few percent in after hours trading. Just insane to see, especially considering we're seeing this type of percentage gain on a day where, or at a time where Riot is at a very, very high share price. So as you can see right here, as many of you guys know, over the course of the past few weeks, my initial price target for Riot has been this green line right here. This is the green line. This is the top line of resistance on what I would call the medium-term uptrend. So this blue line right here is what I would consider to be the longer-term uptrend. This is the medium-term uptrend. We'll see this very same green line on Mara, which, again, will tie into why I'm more bullish on Mara as opposed to Riot right now as well. But this green line, you can see Riot did break straight through my price targets. This is where I actually ended up, I've been kind of wary about Riot ever since it passed this trend line. But once it broke this, I knew we were pretty much in blue sky territory. Now we're actually not even in blue sky territory. This is like out of the stratosphere. So again, Riot is currently at $78. I know their CEO was just on CNBC, which probably propelled some of this momentum from a fundamental perspective. That was the fundamental catalyst behind Riot's big spike up today. Obviously, Riot has a cool name. I think we can all agree on the fact that Riot has a cool ticker symbol. It's very it's catchy. It's easy to roll off the tongue. So there's probably some word of mouth effect going on here. I mean, there has to be. I mean, all of you guys are watching these YouTube videos, and again, Riot is really catching traction, but I think Riot, in all honesty, as much as I love this stock, my number one stock pick 2020, 2021, is just going absolutely ballistic. It's parabolic, and whenever you see this parabolic price action, there's usually some room for a correction. So in all honesty, I'm not a buyer of Riot at these levels. It's because I trade many calls. I trade calls. I obviously hold a Riot stock position that, once again, I accumulated for around $2. And that's untouchable. I don't trade that at all. But as far as my calls, I'm not a buyer of Riot calls right now. And that's because I think there could be a correction in the near future. So I will give you guys my downside price targets, and then we'll move on to Mara, all right? So first downside price target, as I'm sure you guys can assume here, is this orange little target right here, which does come back down to test what was the previous line of resistance on the medium-term uptrend. And again, technical analysis 101, very basic. What was previous resistance will act as new support, way more often than not, okay? So first price target for Riot, if you guys are thinking about maybe accumulating for the long term, I would look at this trend line right here. Again, it's very dependent because these are very angled, very steep trend lines. I always recommend you guys to go into TradingView, draw these lines for yourself, and really keep an eye on them, okay? I want to teach a man how to fish, right? Don't give him a fish. So keep an eye on these for yourself. I do think Riot will probably pull back in the near future. Maybe it keeps ripping. It's very likely, with all the fundamental momentum behind Bitcoin, Riot, Bitcoin miners, cryptocurrency, blockchain, etc., etc. You guys know the deal. That Riot keeps ripping. You guys know that for both Riot and Mara, I do expect I expect triple digits. I'm looking for the hundo plus Riot and Mara by the end of at least this medium term cycle. I think Bitcoin's gonna hit 80K again. We'll dive into that after. But by the time Bitcoin hits 80K, I'm expecting probably 3-figure Riot and Mara. So it wouldn't surprise me at all if Riot just continues to rip again, because the fundamentals are so strong right now and the hype is so real. The FOMO is so real. I love this. This is where I'm comfortable. So I wouldn't be surprised if we do see Riot continue to rip. But I'm not a buyer of Riot until we at least see it test this previous line of resistance on the medium-term uptrend using these two touch points right here. But I'm not a real buyer of Riot, especially at least calls, until we come down here to test the long-term line of resistance. So beginning way back in mid-November, the first high of the rally, where Riot really didn't fall, didn't see a lower high since November. It would come down to test this area, which we know is in play because of this right here. It did act as resistance right here, use it as support. So this trend line is definitely in play. So I will say that I'm not a strong buyer of Riot, definitely not of Riot calls, until we hit the $45 level. Just because 47 is my lucky number, I will say just $47 is my downside price target for Riot. But again, keep in mind, you guys, this is not financial advice. You guys know the drill here. But again, it could be ripping. I'm personally not comfortable buying any more Riot shares, Riot calls, until we hit $47. So we'll just call it there, you guys. Let's move on to Marathon Patent Group, because again, this is a very, very exciting play in my eyes. Please a little bit faster. Sorry about that, guys. So Mara going beautifully as planned. It did strike my price target a little quicker than anticipated, again, because of all this fundamental momentum behind everything that is Bitcoin and cryptocurrency. So the important thing here is that Mara technically this morning, it didn't close a 4-hour above this long-term trend line. So this is the long-term trend line. This is actually, here, let's change this to green so it's a little more comparable to the Riot one. I think it's so likely, you guys. So this is the same exact green line. You can see this medium-term uptrend. This blue line is the longer-term uptrend beginning mid-November, exact same as Riot. Again, you guys, these are two peas in a pod. These go hand in hand. So that is why I do believe Mara will ultimately play catch-up with Riot, at least to some extent, because they're so skewed. They're so far apart in terms of share price at the moment. So I do think that Mara will ultimately come up now that it's officially broken this trend. Again, it didn't close a 4-hour. If we see a 4-hour closure above this, it will 100% signify to me that we are in a short-term uptrend. We will probably go parabolic and test the line of resistance on the medium-term uptrend. All right, so Mara, my price target for Mara, say we hit it March 1st, just to keep it easy, would be $71. But say we go say tomorrow, say by the end of this week, we happen to hit it, which is February 19th. If we hit it by the end of this week, my price target for Mara is about a conservative $64. It's like $64.70 or $64.50, but conservatively, $64 is my upside price target for Mara. And again, you guys, I would not be surprised at all if Mara plays catch up by the end of this week. So let's keep our fingers crossed. Very excited to see. Always know, you guys, my money is on everything that I'm saying right now. So again, once we hit this price target, we might come down unless we blast through it like Riot and just go past the moon, go up here, go intergalactic to Mars. All right, so that is Mara and Riot. Let's do Bitcoin, and then we'll close it out with XNET and currencyworks stocks. Bitcoin, man, why is it taking so long to load? My apologies, you guys. The Wi-Fi has been tweaking out lately. Okay, so Bitcoin has been following this since this parabolic move up, since this Tesla news, since the news of Tesla accumulating $1.5 billion in Bitcoin over time. Again, it's not a lump sum payment. That's important to understand if you guys don't know that. But anyway, you see this parabolic move up, followed by this beautiful ascending wedge. So this is a nice ascending wedge pattern. You could call it an ascending channel. It's pretty close to a channel, and technically, Bitcoin did break out. Bitcoin broke out on the 16th of February. Broke out, came down, used it as resistance, or use it as support. I'm sorry. And now I think it's only a matter of time, in all honesty, before we see this thing go up to test my ultimate $80,000 price target. So let's go on to explain to you guys why that is my price target. So my price target for Bitcoin is 80K because it's for the exact same reason as Riot and Mara. This is a very, very simple uptrend. So beginning December 17th, when we saw this initial high of what is now this medium, like this pretty extended Bitcoin rally, this is the first high right here. Again, mid-December, you get another touch point going into mid-January. And it only makes sense to me that Bitcoin will ultimately come up to test this trend line on the overall uptrend once again, this line of resistance, I should say. Pretty darn soon. So say February 24th, just where I have this price target, because it was initially at March, and on March 1st, my price target would be about $83,500 or $84,000. Again, because it's a very steep, it's very, very dependent on when Bitcoin chooses to strike this line of resistance. But in my opinion, I think it'll happen faster than that. I wouldn't be surprised. So just say 24th of February. Keep in mind, guys, maybe it goes parabolic tomorrow. But keep in mind, you guys, if we hit it 24th of February, my price target for Bitcoin is $79,000. And I've seen a lot of other analyses. Like, you guys, I just use basic trend lines. I've done all the fancy stuff in the past. And in this market environment, in this beginning March, literally this market environment, this crazy like parabolic hype-driven market environment, trend lines have proven themselves to be the most effective by far. So that is what I will continue to use. I mean, stick to what got you to the party, okay? So I'll just use this, and I've seen a lot of other fancier analyses of analysts that I respect a lot line up with that 80K mark, not using trend lines, but other methods, as I said. So 80K, I think, is a pretty unanimous price target amongst many analysts, and it is mine as well. So 80K, roughly give or take a few $1,000s. Again, what's a few $1,000s among friends? 80K is my price target for Bitcoin, and I think that will happen sooner than later. Let's close it out with XNET and currencyworks. Okay, so XNET was looking, XNET over the past few days has done exactly what I expected. Today we saw a little pullback though, so let's go to the hourly. We'll do the hourly for both XNET and currencyworks because these are a little there's a little less going on here, okay? So XNET, as you can see, did break my initial price target right here. Broke straight through. Once we broke this this line of resistance on the overall uptrend, we saw parabolic move up. Now that's an easy tell, you guys. Once a long-term line of resistance is broken to the upside, it's very likely you'll see a parabolic move up because everyone's getting in on it, okay? So we did see a pullback, came down here, almost tested this line of resistance again. Previous resistance will be new support. It wouldn't surprise me in all honesty that we do see XNET prior to continuing the overall rally up, because I still remain very, very bullish on XNET. If we come down to test this area, say by the end of this week, if we see a little pullback because there's so much hype around Riot and Mara, if we see a little pullback, I'm a huge buyer of XNET around $8.40. So if we see an $8.40 XNET, I'm a huge buyer. So I'm not going to pull out the price target right now because the rock is right there. I'm not going to spend time looking for it. But that said, we are printing a little bit of a bull flag. So I wouldn't be surprised either if XNET comes down here just to this area where it spent some low time, comes down here again, just $8.70, even $9. I'm comfortable buying XNET just to not get greedy. But ultimately, I do think XNET will come up to test this area over here, which in 2017 was a very significant line of both support and resistance for XNET on its ride up to a high of $25. So because Riot and Mara are surpassing all-time highs, of course these are different companies. Junlei is a blockchain like cloud-based company, so it's more involved in the technology side of blockchain as opposed to Bitcoin mining, which obviously for very obvious reasons is a very attractive industry right now. XNET, very different company, but similar things apply, you guys. In 2017 this thing went parabolic just like Riot and Mara, and there's no reason for me to believe that the same thing won't ultimately happen in what is objectively a way more fundamentally bullish market. So XNET, my first upside price target if we do see a rally up. I mean, regardless of whether we come down or come up or just go straight up, I'm well positioned. I'll be better positioned if we come down here because I'll just accumulate more calls to be not shares but calls, because that's what I trade. Again, I want to make that clear. I mean, the share, it's like the same thing. So the same principles apply. Anyway, regardless, my short to medium term upside price target for XNET is about $13.50. But ultimately, I wouldn't be surprised at all if we reach the previous high back in 2017 for XNET of $25 by the time Bitcoin reaches 80K. Okay, so $25, that's over a 2x from here. And just again, you guys, it's all about weighing out your risk, weighing out the risk reward profile, finding those asymmetric risks. And in my opinion, XNET, because it just hasn't seen that love yet, because there's so much hype around Riot Blockchain and Marathon Patent Group, which again, I still like more as companies. In all honesty, they're still more exciting to me. But as far as upside potential, upside versus downside potential, I think XNET is a very, very appealing trade, at least in my eyes. Okay, so upside price target once again for XNET, $13.50 in the short to medium term. Close it out with currencyworks, which is getting very, very close to test it. Actually, no, sorry, it did this morning. I was very excited to see this. Currencyworks did perfectly on the dot beat me to the punch. It beat me to it. So again, with all just the fundamental momentum behind the sector, it's not surprising all that currencyworks did beat me to the chase on this one. Currencyworks this morning perfectly to a T bounced off the line of resistance on the overall uptrend. So let's just zoom out quickly, show you guys why that is. Again, starting at the beginning of December, first high, second high, and again, once he broke out of this bull flag, it was very, very evident to me that CWRK would ultimately come up to test this line of resistance. Okay, so CWRK perfectly to a T. Once again, you guys, it always feels good to see that. But again, that's the beauty of technical analysis. It's very, very predictable if all goes accordingly. So CWRK perfectly tested this line of resistance at about $2.20, $2.18, and did see a pullback. So CWRK, because it's seeing a pullback now, I don't know exactly where it's going to pull back to. This area right here looks to be a pretty like you can see just here on the hourly at least. It did spend a lot of time over here. This was an initial high prior to pulling back, seeing this parabolic move up. It did bounce around here, like pretty much went flat around here for a few hours, for like 5 or 6 hours, and it wouldn't surprise me at all if we come down here. But ultimately, I do think currencyworks, because so what currencyworks does, if you guys aren't familiar, is they help companies tokenize shares of their company. Okay, so they create ICOs for companies. So very, very exciting project. Again, with so much attention on blockchain technology and tokenization and ICOs and whatnot. We're going through the mania, and it's going to be way crazier this time, in my opinion. So currencyworks, because it has such a small market cap, it's currently sitting at a $68 million market cap, which in the grand scheme of things is still so tiny, you guys. It wouldn't surprise me at all to see this thing reach at least $1 billion market cap. Of course, that is like a 1.3x from this point here. Sorry, 13x. I said the exact same thing yesterday. A 13x from this point here would lead us to, like a $20, $25 CWRK, all right? So I see a lot of upside potential for this thing. If we do break through this line of resistance, successfully close a 4-hour candle. You guys, 4-hour candles, as many of you know, are my go-to candles. We're on hourly now, but if this thing can close a 4-hour candle, just say by the end of this week above, just say $2.40. So if we reach $2.50 in CWRK, I'm super bullish, and this thing is very, very likely, in my opinion, to go parabolic if we do see this. All right, so that is that, you guys. We'll call it there. Try to keep this one short and sweet for you guys. Talking fast, but that's how we do it around here. I hope you guys appreciated this. I hope you guys gained some value once again, and most importantly, I hope you guys are eating good. And I know many of you are. So many of you hit me up. I know many of you have been with me on this journey of following Riot, Mars, so many of these very, very exciting cryptocurrency plays. And in all honesty, you guys, I still think things are really just getting started. Like, it's crazy to say that, considering we've seen Riot like over 30x already, like 40x pretty much. But again, you guys, that's the beauty of being early, and that's the beauty of spotting trends and loving this game and loving where the world is going, because that's how you become financially compensated in these markets. You got to work hard, you got to put in the work, but ultimately, if you're early on a trend, you're going to win. And that's when you can get venture style 50x, 100x return on your money, which is very fortunate for me to say that that's what we've been seeing this year. Okay, so again, I appreciate you guys for giving me your time, giving me your attention, and most importantly, riding with me. I'll see you in the comment section down below. Let me know what your favorite play is here. If you're more bullish on Riot than Mara right now, or if you agree with me that Mara will play catch up, please let me know down in the comments below. Always love talking shop with you guys. More importantly, I love learning from you guys. So I'll catch you downstairs in the comment section. Until next time, always remember, take action, make waves. Peace.